conclusion of the national anthem as delivered here by David Clayton Thomas, whom you will remember as the former lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, as ABC Sports presents Coors Professional Boxing once again. The IBF Light Heavyweight World Championship bout between Bobby Czyz and Jim MacDonald. Incidentally, David Clayton Thomas, a good Canadian boy, Alex, and he got all the words right, unlike one of his countrymen once in 1965 in Lewiston, Maine. All right, we've met both of the fighters. A word about the strategy you expect in this bout.
Well, as we said, it figures to be a brawl. Czyz is a 2-1 favorite, primarily because he punches well with both hands. He's a great body puncher. He puts punches together. MacDonald in the past has been a one-dimensional fighter. He drills you with his right hand or he doesn't drill you with anything. He says he's acquired some boxing skills, which he's going to use today to keep Bobby Czyz off balance. But it's very difficult to change your style in the pressure cooker of a world championship fight. Both men have excellent chins, as we said earlier. And one thing to watch for, they are both very resilient. They can come back very quickly, recover quickly when they're hurt, so they're dangerous when they're hurt.
You talk about both men having excellent chins. In some instances, particularly the Michael Spinks bout, it has appeared to me at least that MacDonald's chin may be too good for his own good. In effect, he absorbed a tremendous amount of punishment in 8 rounds with Michael Spinks.
Well, that's right. MacDonald was able to stand up to 8 rounds of Michael's power punches. He took a 1-2 combination in round 3 that Michael was absolutely astounded he stood up to. He didn't even blink. He actually hurt Michael himself in the 5th round, wobbled Michael as badly as I've ever seen him wobble. So in the Spinks fight, his first try for a title, he showed the 2 things which give him some hope here today against Czyz: a great chin and a powerful punch with the right hand.
Bobby Czyz is confident of victory in this bout, as of course he would be going into any of his fights. What's down the road for Czyz should he be able to get by MacDonald today? He wants, does he not, to unify this division?
Absolutely. As we talked about earlier, he wants to fight Marvin Johnson, who's presently the WBA champion, or Thomas Hearns, the WBC champion. Right here on ABC on May 23rd, we're going to have Marvin Johnson defending his title against Leslie Stewart, the #1 contender in the WBA. And the winner of that fight actually would be the most likely next opponent for Bobby Czyz if he has his way.
All right, quickly, let's take a look at the tail of the tape on the 2 fighters today. And you will see that Bobby Czyz remains 25 years old. He's been around and has been such a big public figure for so long that you might think he was older than 25. MacDonald carries a height and reach advantage into the ring, as do almost all of Czyz's light heavyweight opponents.
Yeah, Jim, one of the questions about Bobby Czyz has been, is he a legitimate light heavyweight or is he just a blown-up middleweight? I think Bobby's been one of those in-between guys, too big to make the middleweight limit and too small to carry the 175 pounds effectively. But today he looks very good at 174 1/4, and I think he might have matured into a full light heavyweight.
All right, let's join ring announcer Ed Darien now as he concludes introduction of the 2 fighters, and we'll hear the referee's instructions.
He weighed in at an even 174 pounds. This young man has 31 wins, 1 loss with 22 knockouts. From Waunakee, New Jersey, the International Boxing Federation Light Heavyweight Champion, Bobby "Chappy" Czyz.
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in the dressing room. Therefore, I expect you to obey all my commands. I expect you to act like professionals. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves, go back to your corner. Good luck.
Fight scheduled for 15 rounds. The 3 knockdown rule and the mandatory 8 count are in effect. There is no standing 8 count. 3 judges score the bout on the 10-point must system. The referee is Tony Orlando of New Jersey. The 3 judges, Tommy Kazmarek and Rocky Castellani of New Jersey. Gary Merritt from Indiana. A final look at the 2 boxers as they prepare to meet in center ring.
Right away, you saw Bobby Czyz work to the body. Early in a fight, he likes to come in under a taller fighter, work first to the body, and then come up to the head.
It will be interesting to see how careful Czyz will be about staying away from the MacDonald right hand.
Yeah, Tommy Parks, his trainer, told us before the fight, we respect MacDonald's power, but we can't be so respectful of it that it takes us away from our strength. We have to be in front of him. We have to be punching with both hands. The crowd got excited, but both fighters have been fairly tentative right here. Neither of them have really set themselves yet and let their hands go. I think that's a measure of their respect for each other's punching power.
As misses with the jab. Most of his work has been done downstairs so far. MacDonald throws the right hand, throws it again.
Neither of those punches landed cleanly, but Bobby doesn't want to lay on those ropes. He has been effective. Actually, both boxers are effective laying on the ropes and then trying to counter coming off the ropes. They both do it very well. Sometimes MacDonald falls into a trap of doing it too often, and he lets his opponent get too many free shots. He said today he's going to work towards breaking that habit.
Indeed, that seemed to be the thing most on MacDonald's mind. As he prepared tactics for this fight, he said that he wants to box. And as you pointed out, Alex, the problem is how much can you gain coming into one big fight?
Well, he's tried to change here in the first round. He's thrown some jabs, not very effectively. And he just saw Czyz counter the jab. Not something MacDonald is used to doing. And he left a lazy jab out there, and Bobby drilled the right hand. MacDonald almost looks too relaxed right now. He almost looks lethargic. Low blow there, I thought, by Czyz. He's not really zipping his punches.
And on those occasions when Czyz has landed, MacDonald has smirked and offered facial expressions aimed at indicating to Czyz that he can't hurt him.
Generally, that means that they did hurt, but we'll wait and see. Holding and hitting there by MacDonald, holding with the right, punching with his left. A little bit slower first round than we might have expected, and I think that's a measure of how much respect each of these men has for the other man's punching power.
We will stay between rounds as Czyz and MacDonald prepare for their corners. Czyz to listen to the instructions of Tommy Parks, and Jim MacDonald to listen to Detroit Bill Miller.
MacDonald looks like he's almost in a fog out there. You saw him walk back to his corner. Sponge water.
How about a nice round of applause for the very lovely...
Take the water bucket.
Right here.
The water.
Well, my good friends, all professional boxing action coming here Monday evening, June the 15th, as Butch Willis Productions, in association with the Trump Plaza Hotel Casino, present the World Heavyweight Championship bout. It'll be
Give me a bucket, John, please.
battling Jerry Cooney.
Get a bucket in there, okay?
Monday evening, June the 15th, right here in Convention Hall. And for your convenience,
John,
tickets
that bucket
on sale
inside with me
now
next
at
time.
the box office.
All right, take it out now,
Remember that
John.
all-important date, Monday evening, June 15th, here at the Trump Plaza.
Austin has a radio station that plays great classic rock like ZZ Top, Beatles, and the Stones. Z102.
Austin's classic rock. If you drive like this, you may not want Gulf Super Unleaded, but if you drive like this, you probably do. Gulf Super Unleaded, the high-octane gasoline with high-tech Technoline. It cleans complete intake systems, including fuel injectors. High-octane and high-tech Technoline mean high performance. Gulf Super Unleaded. Unlock the power.
The right eye in the Sphinx fight.
That time you saw MacDonald coming in, try to feint the right hand to the body and try to come up with the head. He did not connect. Good Czyz right to the body. Nice move by Czyz. Got out of the way of the MacDonald right hand, came right under it. He did not let his hands go countering, though. He should have. He made the man miss badly, had him vulnerable, and did not let his hands go.
But already MacDonald is starting to back up and lay against the ropes a little bit. He had told himself he wouldn't do.
Well, you could almost see his mind working there, Jim. He felt the back of the rope. He had his old habit of leaning against him, and he said, no, Jim. You're in here for the title. You got to fight.
Czyz starting to land with the jab. That right was blocked.
Minute and a half going to round two. This bout is not yet heated up.
MacDonald only now beginning to break a good sweat. He was dry through much of round one.
Another Czyz punch below the belt. Tony Orlando warned him. Good right hand by Czyz. MacDonald does not look good. As he came away from that exchange, his legs did not look good.
And it is obvious that Czyz is very conscious of working to the body, digging the right hand into MacDonald's ribcage as often as he gets a chance to.
Okay, if Czyz keeps countering that jab by MacDonald, he might say, Jim MacDonald might, I'm better off as a one-dimensional fighter. This jab is getting countered. I'm eating left hands. I'm eating right hands over the top.
Well, he already seems to be backing off from throwing the jab as frequently as he did in round one.
MacDonald told us before the fight he's in the best condition of his life, but here in round two, in the closing seconds, he's breathing very, very heavily.
So the first two rounds have established a pattern which, for the moment, would appear to be favorable to the champion, Bobby Czyz.
I got a feeling for my hometown. I know the streets, I know my way around.
If you've ever played sports, you understand the hometown advantage. And that's the whole idea behind Century 21. We know our hometowns because each Century 21 office is independently owned and operated. Put us all together, and you've got the #1 home selling system in America.
I got a feeling for my hometown.
Century 21, the hometown advantage.
Every year, the farmers who grow Coors barley get together with someone from Coors to celebrate. And when I say someone from Coors, I mean someone named Coors. You see, these families and the Coors family have been working out here together for generations, growing barley that's different, special. Easy drinking, never bitter. Hey, this is where it all starts. For Coors, that's where it's celebrated.
Back live in Atlantic City as round three begins between Bobby Czyz, IBF light heavyweight champion, in the white trunks, Jim MacDonald in the light blue trunks, the challenger from Flint, Michigan. First two rounds had belonged to Czyz, largely on the basis of body punching.
And on the basis of the fact that MacDonald really didn't let his hands go. Czyz was busier and more accurate. Punches by MacDonald. Really nothing on him. He's not setting his feet. He's not ripping. He looks like a guy trying to pace himself. And that is not his fight.
Two counters by Czyz.
Yeah, two great counters to the body. And that will bring Jim MacDonald's hands down so Czyz can go to work up top.
MacDonald talking to himself now in the ring. Or perhaps talking to Czyz.
Jim MacDonald can clown all he wants, but he's clowning himself into a big deficit in terms of rounds here. That was a good, solid right hand.
We would like to alert our local stations along the line that, barring any major developments, we'll take a station break at the end of this round. Of course, if something dramatic happens in the next 121, that could change.
A few seconds ago, you saw another nice move by Bobby Czyz. He moved up, good right hand there. Czyz moved under a MacDonald's punch, went off to the side, but once again, he didn't let his hands go. I'm sure that'll be something he'll try to do in his upcoming fight.
Czyz much less cautious now, beginning to open up and show the full arsenal.
I guess it's possible MacDonald's setting a trap for him, trying to lull Czyz into being overconfident, coming in and giving him punching opportunities. But it just doesn't look that way to me. It looks like he just can't solve Bobby. Bobby's been a little bit too elusive, using a jab, countering effectively, and punching well to the body, and MacDonald just hasn't been able to solve him yet.
And, of course, there were times against Spinks, Alex, when MacDonald looked just as helpless, if not more so than this. But he did land, on 2 or 3 occasions, the big right hand, which for moments at least, totally turned that bout around. It could happen here. It hasn't yet.
MacDonald is just eating right hands. Whether they're counters or leads, every one of them's getting home.
All right, it's another Bobby Czyz round, and we'll return with more of ABC Sports coverage of Coors Professional Boxing after this from our local station.
Who are you, J. Edgar Hoover?
I'm Captain Avenger.
Such a nice boy.
He can't fly.
Tomorrow I'm leaping over a tall building at a single bound.
Wrong guy.
I'm expanding.
He can't bend steel.
I'm in big trouble.
Fighting crime is a dirty business.
But when there's danger, he can't turn away.
You're a crazy man.
John Ritter is Steve Nichols.
How about that?
Hero at large.
This week on the 24th, Sunday movie at 10:30.
Would you like to hear how Surgeon General Dr. C. Everett Koop says you can help protect yourself against AIDS?
The best protection against the infection right now, barring abstinence, is the use of a condom. A condom should be used during sexual relations from start to finish with anyone who you are not absolutely sure is free of the AIDS virus.
Listen again, it's important.
The best protection against the infection right now, barring abstinence, is the use of a condom.
Brought to you as a public service by the American Foundation for AIDS Research.
Dominated by the body punching, the counter punching, and the all-around effectiveness of the busier Bobby Czyz. Jim MacDonald comes out again trying to throw the right hand as round 4 begins, but again Czyz corners him and digs to the body.
Jim, watching this fight is like waiting for a bomb to explode. The one thing that has surprised me is we talked earlier about MacDonald's claim that he was going to be a boxer. Actually, the fighter who's shown the boxing skills here more than we expected is Bobby Czyz. He's had a little bit of a jab he's shown to MacDonald, made him think about it. He's countered well. He's taken the opportunities when they've been there. He's been patient. Hasn't been as wild.
Just landed a solid left hook, a chopping overhead right, and appears to have MacDonald wobbling. The clowning and talking by MacDonald becoming more and more lame with each passing moment. Uppercut got through the guard.
The third strong uppercut Bobby has landed this round.
This is a mature, very calculating, very effective Bobby Czyz.
And there's MacDonald falling into the old habit as we predicted he would, laying on the ropes, perhaps waiting to get an opportunity to land that right. Czyz is being very smart. He's smothering him. He's not giving him the punching room to come off the ropes with the right hand. Right in his face.
MacDonald stiff-legged as he backs up against the ropes again. 1:13 to go in this round.
Good stiff Czyz jab. Tommy Parks would like him to try to double with that jab, but that will come in time.
More and more, this is evolving into target practice for Bobby Czyz. MacDonald paused to observe his right hand and simply ate the left hand as Czyz came back. And again, MacDonald rests against the rope. Another uppercut.
MacDonald tries to dance away. His legs look terrible. I don't know whether it's the body shots or they just came in the ring with dead legs.
Well, he's never had the best footwork in the world. He always seems to wobble a little bit from side to side. But you're right, he looks worse now than he has at any stage of the fight. And we will stay here between rounds. See if Phil Miller and the others in MacDonald's corner can find some way to motivate their fighters.
This man's good every round.
There's Czyz going to the body with the right hand, pushes the man back to the ropes, and then comes up top. MacDonald's hands were up, but Czyz just punched right around him. We said coming into this fight, Jim MacDonald had an outstanding chin and an outstanding punch. So far, all he's got to do is to be able to prove he's got a good chin.
And that's a rather hollow honor.
Hold your mouth open.
Not much for Tommy Parks to say to Czyz. He's been just about perfect. Bobby Cappy Czyz. He uses the nickname which belonged to the great Joe Louis.
And one of the things about Bobby Czyz that is similar to Joe Louis is that he's an outstanding finisher when he gets his man hurt.
Czyz likes to say, in the language of the ring, when you get a man drunk, you mug him.
The thing that's impressed me about Bobby here is he hasn't lost his head the few times he's landed real solid punches and gone in wild and let MacDonald a chance to bang and counter him. He's been very, very restrained and controlled. We said coming in that these were two brawlers. To this point, one hasn't and one apparently can.
Well, the biggest win of MacDonald's career was over Willie Edwards. Czyz also has a knockout of Willie Edwards on his record, but Edwards was able to stagger Czyz many times in that brief bout. MacDonald hasn't been able to do it.
Technically, Edwards handed Czyz the only knockdown of his career at the end of round one in that fight. The referee, he didn't actually go down. He bounced off the ropes, but in between rounds, the referee called it a knockdown. Low blow there. And again, another warning by the referee, Tony Orlando. MacDonald bending over.
MacDonald absorbing an awful lot of punishment.
And unlike his other fights, you just saw him bounce off the ropes. He wasn't even looking to counter with that right hand. He just fell into a clinch. Just come up completely empty.
Blood beginning to trickle now from both nostrils of Jim MacDonald. His nose was broken in the Sphinx fight. Indeed, he entered the Sphinx fight, he says, with a broken nose. Could be that it has given way again.
He had some physical problems in training for this fight with his ear that broke up his training a little bit, but he claims that he recovered from that and he's fine. Great physical condition. As we said earlier, the best physical condition of his life.
Solid right hand by Czyz. Follows it up. Another right.
And that right hand hurt. And that one did too.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the only leading motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Now that I'm a big TV personality and living in Hollywood, it's important that I improve my ability to party. So I got myself this hot tub and invited over some close friends I've known for hours. And instead of the usual boring soft drinks, I'm serving A&W root beer. A&W's rich and creamy, and it has that frosty mug taste. There's nothing like a hot tub, a cold frosty one, and some properly prepared crustacean. Pour yourself an A&W, regular or diet.
We are back as round 6 begins in Atlantic City. A scheduled 15-rounder. It would be a miracle if it goes that far. And Alex, between rounds, the ring doctor took a good look at Jim MacDonald.
Two things happened. Frank Doggett, the doctor in control here, came in and looked and apparently came over to Tony Orlando, the referee. Good right hand. Tony Orlando could stop this fight right now. MacDonald is doing absolutely nothing. In the same time, Larry Hazard, the head of the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, looked over and he shook his head. He's standing up right now, Larry Hazard. He's motioning for Frank Doggett to stop this fight, and Tony Orlando does.
third knockout of his career. Jim MacDonald showed very little in his second chance to win a light heavyweight championship. Technical knockout in the 6th round. Tony Orlando with a good and well-justified stoppage under the urging of Larry Hazard of the New Jersey State Control Board. The crowd here chants for their man. Wanacue, New Jersey's Bobby Chiz. MacDonald appeared chagrined that the bout had been called to a halt, and it's hard to imagine exactly why. 37 seconds of the 6th round.
Jim,
I got it. When to get up, and when to get up. We'd like to remind you, incidentally, in fact, to let you know for the first time, that now that we have airtime remaining in this show as a result of the early conclusion of this bout, we're going to get a chance to show you one of the best and most talked about fights of the last 10 or 20 years in boxing. That, the Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hearns welterweight unification championship fight that took place on September 16, 1981. We'll have highlights from that bout when we come back.
To Peerless Faucet, durability means solid brass, resilient copper, and stainless steel construction. It also means if you install your Peerless washerless faucet today, it will not only still be working in the year 2001, it will still be under warranty. And now, Peerless Do-It-Yourself Faucets announce the Peerless Spring Break Rebate. $5 back on any single-handle faucet now through May 31st.
Come on! Hey, what a team! We got fans! Did we give 110%? Give 110% expected. From everyone, everything. Speed Stick Antiperspirant gives 110%. Why? It's the most powerful protection you can get. Nothing fights wetness and odor better. Glides on dry, lasts all day. That's 110% protection.
Speed Stick Antiperspirant, the wide stick.
That's your edge.
All right, you're back live in Atlantic City at the Convention Center. In the ballroom, I'm Jim Lampley. Alex Wallow is climbing into the ring. And now ring announcer Ed Darien makes the official announcement.
At 37 seconds of the 6th round, and a winner by a TKO, and still the International Boxing Federation Light Heavyweight Champion, Bobby "Chappie" Chiz.
Third successful title defense for Chiz, taking the crown from Slobodan Kachar. He now looks forward to the possible creation of a path toward unification of the light heavyweight division. And Alex Wallow is standing by now with Bobby. Let's see if Alex can hear me and get the interview started.
Bobby, I thought that was your most controlled performance I've ever seen you give in the ring.
Well, you know, again, Tommy Parks, they took me up to Villa Roma in the Catskills and Callicoon, and they did a great job in situating me in training camp. Tommy worked with me every day, and he got me down. He's an expert, strategic genius, and it showed in my performance. When I listen to him, that's what I do. And Carlo Diaz brought me along. They told him, don't take this guy. He's a tough puncher. He's a one-punch knockout artist. Carlo believed in me, had faith in me when many people didn't. He moved me to where I am, and I looked as convincing as ever.
We said when we were calling the fight, Bobby, that MacDonald was terribly disappointing. Obviously, you had a lot to do with that.
Well, I think he came out trying to do what he had to do. He had some questions he said he wanted to answer at the press conference. Can I really punch, and can I take a shot? He hit me with one or two, but my defense was really good today. I slipped and blocked a lot of shots. He was a little slow, and I think I answered his question about can I punch. I had him hurt in at least 3 of the rounds really good, and it was just a matter of time. His body, his chin, they were all folding up.
One thing I liked about it was, Bob, that you didn't lose your head when you had him hurt. You stayed controlled. You didn't take any chances. You stayed tucked in pretty well, used the body. You just seemed to do everything right.
Well, Carl and Tom have been working with me, and that's part of being a champion. I got to learn to go the distance if I have to, stay controlled, not waste punches, make them count. And I want to thank ABC for this opportunity to show my stuff, and also Mark Edis, the Trump Plaza and Company. Everybody's done a great job, and we're happy to be and hope we come back.
Bobby, if we would just look at the monitor here for a second, and we'll comment on the end of the fight. MacDonald protested, but we said the fight should have been stopped. He was just doing nothing in return.
Well, he's basically in a passive defense now, and I'm hammering him inside of his head. He goes back on the ropes. Again, he's not offering any resistance. His body shot, left uppercut, the landing clean, the right hand's around, and, you know, this is the end of each round, the beginning of each round. He had a few spurts in between. The guy's got a great chin and a lot of heart, and there's no sense in letting him get hurt, because he was going to stay there until he got physically destroyed.
Bobby, you know that there are skeptics who will always be around who say you're an overhyped fighter because you're white and because you're intelligent enough to present a very positive public image. What kind of a win do you think, what kind of an opponent do you think you need to beat to prove to people that you're a fighter?
Well, I have a lot of respect and great admiration for Michael Spinks, the former undisputed champion. I wanted to go on and fill the shoes he left behind. I was trying to fight some of the guys he fought. MacDonald stopped in 8. I stopped him, I think it was 6 or 7. So I'm on a par with the performances he's put out. David Sears, I got rid of in 1. Michael took 3. He's a little slower starter, a little different style. But I want to beat the people he beat so that they can say he's fighting people. He's fighting the guys that are here. He's a dangerous puncher. The Kachar, the champion I beat, a hell of a boxer, 6'2", 6'3", 6'2.5". I'm beating everybody in the top 10, and Carlos picking the opponents for me, getting me where I can. We're hoping to get Tommy Hearns soon, and Tommy works with me, you know, as great as always. Without these two, I can't go and do it by myself.
Bobby, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks very much. Now back to Jim Lampley down to ringside.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. And we remind those of you who are boxing fans who want to stay with us, and we hope that you do, as ABC Sports presents Coors Professional Boxing, that we are going to show you round-by-round highlights of Leonard Hearns from 1981. We'll have that when we come back.
Look at my watch, it was 9:31, so I called my dad and said, let's have some fun, and we rode.
Right now, it's rocket rebate time at your Honda motorcycle dealer, and that means it's time to roll up big savings. You can save $100 to $1,000 on selected models. Apply these savings to your down payment or get cash back from Honda. The choice is yours, but hurry. Honda's rocket rebate is good for a limited time only.
Rolling from the break of dawn.
When you talk to the experts from Coors about their beer, this is what happens. Now, this is great. Bob Foster here says that his special blend of hops is the one thing that gives Coors its character and its taste. The one thing. Darwin Davidson says it's his two-row barley. And Sun Lee claims it's his specially cultured yeast. That's great. Come on, guys. What is it? Barley. I love it. You want to know why Coors is the one? Teamwork.
We are back live now at the Atlantic City Convention Center, where today's boxing action has concluded with Bobby Chaz's 6th-round technical knockout of Jim MacDonald. ABC Sports presents Coors Professional Boxing, and Chaz retains his IBF light heavyweight championship. Not a terribly competitive fight, but an impressive and well-rounded performance by Chaz, who showed cool, calculated discipline, punching power, and the ability to effectively finish his man when he had him in trouble. Down the road for Chaz, as I've mentioned before, the hope of trying to unify the light heavyweight division. And now we get a chance to move on to other things. So much has been written and said about Ray Leonard in recent weeks as a result of his comeback victory over Marvin Hagler that we thought we might give you a good opportunity here to focus attention on, Alex, one of the greatest fights of the last 10, 15, 20 years, however many years you want to specify in boxing. Took place on September 16, 1981. Unification of the welterweight division between two champions. Leonard was 30-1 coming into the bout and had just 10 months before avenged the only loss of his career in the no-mas fight with Roberto Duran. Hearns, 32-0 coming in, 30 knockouts, and Alex, an aura of invincibility as you were at ringside in Vegas that night.
Jim, it was the most eagerly anticipated fight since a decade earlier. Ali fought Frazier for the first time. Coming into the fight, Leonard had the reputation as the consummate boxer, the intelligent boxer, the man who had outsmarted Roberto Duran. Thomas Hearns was the hitman. He was considered the devastating puncher. He was the guy who was going to come in and knock your head off. As you'll see, those reputations didn't hold up in the ring. There are two statistics to remember, Jim. One, that under the television lights that night in Las Vegas, it was 110 degrees, and Thomas Hearns enjoyed an 8-inch reach advantage.
We're going to pick up the action in round 4. What happened in the first 3 rounds?
Well, in the rounds 1 and 2, Tommy Hearns just boxed, moved, outscored Ray Leonard, intimidated him a little bit, it looked like. It looked like Ray Leonard had heard about the reputation for punching power and had a lot of respect for Hearns. Hearns won those 2 rounds on all the judges' scorecards. In round 3, Ray said, I better start setting myself. I better get competitive. It was a very, very close round. Leonard won on 2 scorecards, and Thomas Hearns won on the other one.
This is memorable stuff. Let's go back to September 16, 1981. We will pick it up with round 4. The voice that you hear on the tape is that of the man who called the bite, Howard Cosell.
The bell has rung for round 4 as we jump you from ringside in Las Vegas. Sugar Ray Leonard, left of your screen. Thomas Hearns, right. 3rd round. First time that Sugar Ray Leonard began to become aggressive. He did it midway through the round. He startled Hearns, I think, at that point with his aggressiveness. Scored a good combination, then scored several more blows. Hearns responded, but not as frequently or as effectively, I don't think, as Leonard. I scored the 3rd round for Leonard. Now we are 45 seconds into round 4. See Leonard with that intense face, picking off Hearns' blows from long range with his glove. They're back to cautious fighting again here in round 4. Leonard tried to get to the midsection, but you saw how quickly he covered. That's the problem, fighting this peculiarly constructed man with that big reach advantage and with the tremendous punching power. You must never leave yourself unprotected. This round is in the pattern of the 2nd round. Thomas Hearns, the aggressor. Both fighters fighting warily. Leonard scoring well now for the first time in the round. 50 seconds left in round 4. Leonard with a good right as Hearns dropped his left. Thomas trying to get Leonard into an inside exchange. 15 seconds left in the 4th round. Hearns with a good right. Hearns with a long right to the chest. Hearns missing with a right, and then trying to pour in. It's the end of round 4.
Raise your hand. You got it. Raise your hand. You know it. You feel confident, secure. Raise your hand. You feel dry now. Raise your hand. You know why now. Raise your hand if you're sure. Confident, confident, dry and secure. Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand if you're sure.
Tonight, this place will be filled. People will be watching movies and not watching what they're eating. Pretty soon, it'll come back to haunt them.
My tummy hurts.
Mine too. That chili dog.
Don't worry, we've got Pepto at home.
Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, it soothes heartburn and upset stomach, as well as diarrhea.
I thought we left the monster back at the movies.
Pepto-Bismol. The one that coats is the only one you need.
Monday,
How you doing?
Well, you can't expect me to turn that into a singer.
Sylvester Stallone's Turnin' Country with Dolly Parton. Anything goes in Rhinestone Monday.
If your car leans toward the high performance, we suggest that before the performance starts, you get Gulf Super Unleaded, the high-octane gasoline with high-tech tech relief. It cleans complete intake systems, including fuel injectors, to allow your car to perform at its best. High octane and high-tech tech relief mean High performance. Go super unlimited. Unlock the power.
Their killing power is unquestionable. They're put together for one reason and one reason only, and that is to kill life. They're in our foods, our homes, and our business.
I know of one family that their home was contaminated by chlordane. They ended up bulldozing the home.
And yet today, as lethal as they are, the control of dangerous pesticides is often dangerously out of control. Monday on 24 Action News at 6 and 10, reporter Keith Elkins begins an investigation on the use and abuse of over-the-counter poison, pesticides, toxic time bombs. 24 AVUE-TV, Austin.
Before we continue with Leonard Hearns, we remind you that coming up next on ABC Sports is Mutual of Omaha's Spirit of Adventure, an American expedition to the first attempt ever to raft China's dangerous Upper Yangtze River. The conclusion of that historic challenge coming up next on ABC Sports. Now.